Before there was light, before there was sound, before even the smallest particle dreamed of existing, there was nothing. Or so we imagine. A vast, endless silence. But here's the secret that will follow you into sleep tonight. Nothing has never truly existed. Even the void hums. Even emptiness is alive. And from that whisper of almost nothing, the universe builds everything. Welcome to another episode of Night Lamp Curiosity. I'm Professor Photon, and today we're going to talk about literally nothing. Stay with me till the end, because by the time this story closes, you'll understand that the space between your thoughts, the quiet between stars, the stillness inside every atom is not absence. It is the most creative place in existence. When we speak of nothing, we often picture a black void, an empty box, a cleared space, the absence of matter. But physics doesn't allow true emptiness. In quantum mechanics, even a perfect vacuum seethes with energy. Particles pop in and out of existence like bubbles in boiling water, appearing and disappearing in times shorter than a trillionth of a second. This restless background is called the quantum vacuum, or zero-point field, a sea of pure potential. The physicist Werner Heisenberg, who gave us the uncertainty principle, realized that you can never have both position and momentum exactly zero. That means that even nothing must fluctuate. It cannot sit still. The uncertainty of the void gives birth to possibility. The ancient mystics said, out of the void comes creation. Modern science, whispering the same truth, calls it vacuum energy. Let's take a slow breath and drift backward in time, 13.8 billion years to the very beginning. The universe began not as an explosion in space, but as an expansion of space. At first, there was no where for it to explode into. Space and time were being woven together as it happened. Physicists call this moment the Big Bang, though it wasn't big and it wasn't a bang. It was the smallest whisper imaginable. A point smaller than a proton suddenly unfolding into everything. What triggered that expansion? No one knows for certain, but quantum theory offers a breathtaking idea. Perhaps a tiny patch of nothing experienced a random fluctuation so intense that it inflated into reality itself. A speck of vacuum energy spilled into being, and the laws of physics did the rest. Energy became matter. Matter condensed into stars. Stars forged the elements of life. And here you are listening, consciousness arising from a tremor in nothingness. When physicist Lawrence Krauss titled his book A Universe from Nothing, he wasn't being poetic. He was describing how the equations of quantum field theory allow universes to emerge spontaneously when fluctuations in energy balance out to zero. In simple terms, the total energy of our universe might equal nothing. Positive energy of matter exactly cancelled by the negative energy of gravity. Zero, but alive. Even the nothing between galaxies isn't empty. It's filled with dark energy, a mysterious pressure pushing the universe to expand faster and faster. We don't know what dark energy is, but we know it accounts for nearly 70% of the cosmos. So the greatest something in existence arises from what appears to be nothing. The vacuum, then, is not void. It's creative. Think of it as the ocean beneath all waves. Particles are ripples in that ocean. When two ripples meet, they create everything we call matter. When the ripples fade, the ocean remains silent and full of potential. If you could look deep enough into the fabric of space, past atoms, past quarks, you would find a field of vibration, quantum foam, Planck-scale tremors that never rest. Physicist John Wheeler imagined this foam as tiny wormholes flickering in and out of existence, connecting points of space in microscopic flashes. Even on the smallest scale, the universe is talking to itself. Now here's the beautiful paradox. Nothingness creates because it cannot help itself. Fluctuation is inevitable. It's baked into the nature of reality. The Buddhists call this shunyata, emptiness that is full of potential. In that way, quantum physics and ancient philosophy finally agree. The void is fertile. The next time you sit in silence, know that silence hums with hidden energy. Between each heartbeat, space-time ripples ever so slightly. Your atoms borrow energy from the vacuum to exist, then pay it back in kind. Everything you are is a momentary loan from nothingness, and yet somehow the account always balances. Physicists describe the early universe as a hot, dense field of uniform energy called the inflaton. Within a fraction of a second, it expanded exponentially, an event called cosmic inflation. That expansion smoothed and stretched the universe, turning quantum wrinkles into the seeds of galaxies. Tiny fluctuations in that first field became the cosmic web, the great filaments of matter we see in telescopes today. Imagine that. Entire galaxies, stars, and worlds born from quantum ripples, smaller than an atom. The universe is not a construction project. It's a song. The melody begins in silence, rises in vibration, and echoes forever. Even now, the background radiation from that first moment still bathes you. Microwave photons, cooled by time, pass through your body at all hours, the faint afterglow of creation, older than light itself. So what, then, is nothing? If the void teems with fields, fluctuations, and the raw ability to give birth to universes, can we still call it nothing at all? Physicist Frank Wilczek once joked that the real question isn't why is there something rather than nothing, but why is there so much nothing rather than everything? Because even emptiness takes effort to exist. If space is a field, time is its rhythm. Energy dances to that rhythm. Matter appears when the beat slows enough for vibration to condense into form. And consciousness, this awareness hearing these words, is the harmony that emerges when matter learns to listen to itself. Quantum physics shows that even the simplest vacuum obeys the rules of uncertainty. Virtual particles flash into being, annihilate each other, and vanish, yet their effects can be measured. The Casimir effect proves this. Place two metal plates extremely close together in a vacuum, and they will attract not because of magnetism or gravity, but because the quantum fluctuations between them are slightly fewer than those outside. The pressure difference literally pushes the plates together. Nothingness exerts force. Stephen Hawking applied this idea to black holes. He realized that at the edge of a black hole, the event horizon, one particle of a virtual pair might fall in while the other escapes. To an observer far away, it looks as if the black hole is emitting radiation. That radiation, now called Hawking radiation, means black holes can eventually evaporate. Even the darkest voids can shine. So when we say the universe builds itself from nothing, we are describing a chain reaction of creativity inherent to the vacuum. A fluctuation becomes a field becomes a particle becomes an atom, atoms become stars become you. Nothingness never meant absence, it meant potential awaiting resonance. There's something comforting in this. It means creation isn't an event, it's a habit of the universe. Every second, virtual particles are born and die all around you. Every breath you take is filled with borrowed existence. And perhaps consciousness itself is the vacuum becoming aware of its own possibility. The physicist David Bohm called this the implicate order. A hidden layer of reality from which the explicit, visible world unfolds like waves from an ocean. What we call nothing is that implicate order, endlessly folding and unfolding. When you look up at the night sky, you are seeing not a past creation, but a continuous becoming. The universe isn't finished. It's still writing itself. At the biological level, this same principle continues. Your body renews billions of cells every day. Old matter dissolves, new matter emerges from the same energy field. Even your thoughts flicker into being from neural potentials, tiny voltage shifts across membranes, electrical fluctuations from apparent silence. Your mind, too, is built from nothing, again and again, every instant. So perhaps nothing is not the opposite of life, but its source. The blank page that allows writing, the pause between notes that gives music meaning, the still moment before the breath that becomes creation. Let's pause here, feel the quiet around you. The air seems still, but it's filled with photons, neutrinos, quantum foam. Every cubic centimetre of empty space contains more energy than all the stars in the visible universe. It's just balanced so perfectly that we don't notice. Physicist Paul Dirac once calculated the density of vacuum energy and found it to be enormous. So vast that if it weren't balanced by other forces, the universe would rip itself apart instantly. A balance is the miracle. Harmony is existence's default state. When you rest tonight, your consciousness will slip into the same silence that birthed the cosmos. Your breath will slow, your neurons will hum at low amplitude. You will dissolve into the creative nothing that dream the stars. And from that nothing, new ideas, new memories, new versions of yourself will emerge by morning. You are not separate from creation, you are its continuation. Physicist Alan Guth, who first proposed cosmic inflation, once said, "The universe is the ultimate free lunch." He meant that you can create a cosmos from nothing as long as the total energy remains zero, positive and negative in perfect counterpoint. A perpetual equilibrium where existence costs nothing yet feels like everything. Think about that. The universe owes no debt. It simply is, and so are you. The space inside you, between your atoms, between your thoughts, is the same creative vacuum that fills the cosmos. When you feel empty, you are closest to that origin. When you feel nothing, you are aligned with everything. Imagine for a moment that the universe were conscious from the beginning. What would it feel as it expanded from the void? Perhaps wonder, perhaps curiosity. The same feelings you have when you create something from silence, a painting, a melody, a thought. Those moments are echoes of the Big Bang inside the human mind. Every act of imagination is a small universe born from nothing. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote, "The purpose of life is to be defeated by greater and greater things." Physics might say, the purpose of existence is to fluctuate into greater and greater complexity. Out of the vacuum comes hydrogen, out of hydrogen comes life, out of life comes awareness, and out of awareness comes awe. It is a chain of becoming that never ends. If the universe could speak, perhaps it would say, "I build myself from nothing because nothing is the canvas of infinity." So as you lie there now between waking and dreaming, remember that the quiet you feel is not empty. It's the same quiet that gave birth to galaxies. The same nothing that hums with endless becoming. The stars above you are still forming. The space between them is alive with fields. And inside you, atoms dance to that same invisible music. You are made of the universe's creative restlessness. And you are helping it continue from nothing, everything, from silence, song, from emptiness, you. Thank you for staying till the end, and good night.